Guys, it's Sarah with Grassroots Evolution Tarot, and I'm here to bring you a monthly message for the sign of Aquarius for January 2023. Happy birthday for all of you who celebrate this month, and if your birthday's next month, happy belated birthday. I hope you guys have had a wonderful start to your new year. You feel like you're accomplishing your goals and you're going after what you want, my friends. For all my subscribers, I love you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you guys for being here. You mean the world to me. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. If you feel like this resonates and you'd like to see more, please hit subscribe. Join the journey with me. I'd love to have you along the ride. So before I get into the cards, I'm just going to take a moment to call in spirit. I'm going to ask Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron, Archangel Gabriel, as well as my team of light and any of your spirit guides that would be here for the highest good of the entire collective to join us. I'm going to ask them to guide, guard, bless, and protect myself, this reading, and any of you who would ask for it, as well as to use me as the clearest channel possible, delivering messages for the highest good, but for the most far-reaching of you guys, okay? So if this message doesn't feel like it's for you, disregard it and go about your day, my friends. But if it does feel like it's for you, remember that no matter what messages come through, it's still up to you and your active free will, the choices you make and the changes you make, the steps you take in your world to get whatever fulfillment it is you'd like to see. To me, this is personal freedom, it's personal power, and my friends, it's something that lies at the tips of your fingers and the soles of your feet, so use that power to do wisely. So I'm going to start off. I have the Messages of Life by Mario Dugue. Just a disclaimer, they use the word God a lot, and for some of us that can kind of be a little bit of a trigger. Just use it as God, source, universe, spirit, however it resonates for you, okay, the divine. I'm going to ask a little bit of spiritual advice for Aquarius for January. Okay, and they showed me hope, so I'm going to take that. But we have a bunch that came out. So first off, you have unity, overcoming, I grow, and the eyes of the heart. I'm going to read you hope first, and it says, I cease to doubt my true nature. I no longer turn my thoughts towards the dark and negative parts inside me, the world of fear. I welcome life and hold on to my faith in God and God's love. I enter into the great school of life, steady in the face of all situations, because regardless of the darkness and fear, I know the light will return. There will always be infinite possibilities ahead of me. And this is really important for me, that this is the first one we actually saw. The other one's flipped over, because this is just remembering that even though there may be some darkness, that it's really important to hold hope. Things will get better. Nothing stays the same. Even if it's great, nothing stays the same. Things change, and change is constant. So just also knowing that the darkness, it's not going to stay forever. If there's fear as well, know that it's not going to stay forever. And this is us knowing that we're going to have faith in ourselves and our ability to overcome the things that we're presented with. So with the eyes of the heart here, it says, I rediscover the real beauty in everything and every person I meet. I see beyond the personality and its superficial nature, and see with my heart an energy of love that dwells in all of us. I know I am filled with wonder at the presence of God and all that is. The eyes of the heart allow me to see the divine shining everywhere. I know I now live in the true light. When I was hearing this, so this is important, that yes, when we're going around in our world, we are seeing through the eyes of the heart. We are seeing the divine in everyone. This, however, I heard is a warning as well. That sometimes, because we can see the light in everyone, sometimes we give people, the word Spirit's giving me is bad people. I don't think there's bad people per se, but there are those that don't deserve our time, love, attention, money. So what I'm picking up as like narcissistic, sociopathic, using kind of people who would use you, and people who we may want to excuse their faults. So this is looking at the eyes of the heart. We may know, for example, that let's say someone treats us poorly, and we can look back in their history and know that they were treated poorly in the past. Some of us may use this as an excuse for their behavior, which it could definitely explain it. However, when we get to be big grown-up adults, we have to take responsibility for our actions and our own emotional regulation and emotional control. So if we have someone around us who's constantly using us, and we are constantly finding ourselves giving excuses for their behavior, that's not what this is about, okay? This is looking at most people and small little misgivings or communication issues, or even just as we meet people in day to day and looking for the good in them. But there's something here, what I'm hearing was like a toxic positivity also of just constantly looking for the good, so we excuse the bad. And if there are people who just bring a lot of negativity and a lot of turmoil to our lives, this is where we need to see the good in them, but to know that it's okay for them to be who they are away from us as well. As well as this says you want to live in your true light. And there could be someone, if you are always this person, this giver, could be someone, again, because their mentality is using, that they're expecting these things from you, or they're kind of usurping and they're draining you, kind of like an energy vampire. So pay attention to how you feel around people when you're interacting. After you talk with them, do you feel energized? Do you feel kind of like depleted? Are you feeling hopeful? Do you feel worried, bothersome? Also, what I'm hearing about this is this may be a really good place to kind of protect yourself. Put those energetic bubbles in, put that protection in, and imagine this beautiful white shining light coming from your heart and embubbling you so that you are untouchable, my friends. Energy vampires, you may want to, if you know who these people are, snip cords as well. You may want to have a spiritual bath, maybe essential oils, crystals in there with you, not necessarily in the water but around the tub. You definitely can take a candle and ask for it to burn away any of the attachments as well, or any negative energy. You want to smudge yourself with some sage or Palo Santo, as well as what I heard with this is just definitely setting energetic boundaries, because you know this person is vampiring. Okay, they're a vampire. They may not be aware of it, and this is where it's really important to hold hope, because some people don't know when they're walking around engaging in the lower energetic levels. They're going around in fear, they're going around in panic, they're stuck in their trauma. And it's not to say anything negative about people who are going through their trauma, but this is those that choose to wallow and hold on to this as their truth, and the darkness as their truth, and they're not letting the light in. And no matter what you do, you're not responsible for making them let the light in. What I heard is there comes a time in all of our lives where maybe we've let darkness permeate us. We need to find the reasoning for ourselves and create that crack in our exterior shell to let the light in ourselves. So for some of you, the people you're working with, the people you're engaging with, your friends, the family, if that part resonated, they're going through something on their own too, and it's important for their spiritual awakening for them to come out of this and face the light as well. So I feel like it's just really important that while we're looking at this with the eyes of the heart, we're knowing that no one is unlovable, nobody is undeserving of love, but we need to show ourselves love in this process. And if, again, there's people that as we give, we feel less than and depleted, and we're not getting kind of a reciprocated energy, we really need to focus on thinking, is this really right for me? Okay, so I grow through the recognition of the divine within me. I respect my needs, observe what happens within, and do my best to maintain a positive attitude at all times. I have faith in my inner strengths and capabilities. I grow every day. What is important to me is not what others think of me, but what God thinks of me. And knowing that even if we're going through something negative, keeping a positive outlook that, again, this is not going to last forever. What were the lessons that I have learned? How can I use this to help me grow and change and evolve over time and on this spiritual journey? And you have overcoming, because I think it's really important this year, this 2023 year, it's our year, my friends. It is our year to focus on the goals and overcome the things like setbacks or roadblocks that have stopped us from moving forward on our path. So this one says, I overcome my fears, my anger, my ego, and all that separates me from my divinity. Though through self-discovery and daily effort in my spiritual quest, I cause the light to grow in and around me. I am in the great school of life and know that each of life's tests is necessary so that I can reign over my own inner kingdom. It is absolutely normal to have anger, to experience anger, to experience fear, to experience regret, heartache, loss. It's how long we sit in this, and when we're in this, are we just merely being in this state, or are we observing what made me angry? Why am I hurt? What can I do to move past this? This is where we get down into, again, those people that they're going to dwell and live in the fear and live in the darkness. And then it could even be something like, if we have a bad experience within our day, the whole day shot bad because we were walking to school in the morning, or we're on our morning commute, and let's say coffee shop's out of coffee, or we step in dog poop, or somebody does something, and then it just, if we allow that situation to take hold and set our day in a negative tone, we're creating and manifesting a day of shit, right? But if we say, okay, that was that, and we do our best to experience those feelings, to sit with them, to realize what's going on, and then move forward, this is where it's really important, because you are overcoming it, as well as this part of the unity. It's important that we pulled this last, because you are one with spirit, you are one with source, and as well as, I think this is going to be really important, to being one with your own inner feelings and your own inner knowledge, and it could be with other people as well. But it says, today I become one with my inner light. I live in the present moment and stop trying to defy time. I no longer react according to my fears. There will never be a valid reason for me to stay away from my own inner light. I become calm and regain a lightness of spirit as I collect my inner self, center in my heart, and glow in all my divinity. For some of you, there may be a reconnection of self, what we need to do. And for some of you, I do feel like if you're feeling like you're not in unity within yourself, have you laughed today? Did you dance? Do you like music? Have you listened to your favorite music? There may be a place where we need to sit down with ourselves and say, all right, feeling a little lost. Feeling a bit like I'm on the struggle bus and not feeling quite like me. What could I do to feel more like me? For some of you, and I know this works for me, exercise, it is a valuable tool, valuable resource to get your head clear. You may want to go for a walk, a run. You know, it could be things like doing your dishes and cleaning up the house and just getting something done and accomplished. And in that next moment, you know, you're feeling like a little bit more yourself as well. But I do think that it's going to be important for you to find time for yourself every single day, whether it's a bath, whether it's playing a game with somebody that you love, whether it's just even taking a few moments for you to listen to music or write in a journal, read a book that you like. Find something that gives you feelings of being relaxed, right? Because I think that's going to be a lot of these things, is that if we've held space for sort of darkness, this can also lead to kind of like a hypersensitivity and hyper anxiety, just constantly in this state of fight or flight. And it's going to be really important for us to find ways to alleviate that. So I have the Ace of Bows in the reverse. We have, this is the Wildwood Tarot. We have the Seven of Vessels with Mourning, so Seven of Cups and Mourning. And we have the Sun, which also came out on Capricorn, and for some of you, you may be on the cusp of Capricorn as well. Hope came out as well with Capricorn. However, this is also, you know, there is this short period of time where we are on that cusp, where Capricorn is right here and Aquarius is right around the corner. So, it's going to be really important for your own success to mourn what has not worked. With this Ace of Bows, to mourn that maybe we've tried to start up a business. Maybe we've tried to start up a relationship. Maybe we've tried to start an exercise routine and it's just never works out. Or we feel like every time we do this, something is sabotaging us. Sit with these feelings, because yeah, that sucks. It sucks a lot to feel like what you've done isn't working and that there's not going to be success. But this I heard is by trial and error with the 7. This is also about learning and making choices and changes. So we can look at it, go, yeah, my heart's been hurt. This could be people in our lives again. This could be over situations that fizzled out before they really caught fire, took the flame. And if any of you have ever fought with a fire, we have a wood stove. And some days it's been not really fun, really babying this, trying to get it to go. And if that is the issue, Spirit's saying, baby it. Don't let it out. Especially, this is coming down to our inner fire. Did something get you? They're saying like nip it in the bud. Did something come and nip it in the bud? There's a lot to this, because whatever it was that failed, it might not have been the time. There could have been a lot of different things where you just weren't at the right part in your life, or you didn't have enough experience for this to work through. So it's going to be really important for you to sit with, what is my disappointment? What has been bothering me? What can I get off the ground? How do I feel about it? And you may want to write it out so that you can get it out and get it off your chest, because once you do, you're going to have a much more open and chest. Now, I also heard fluid. Hopefully there's not fluid there, but this is, I think, our own well-being. We're overcoming stuff. In order to heal it, we got to feel it. Because if we're not going to be willing within ourselves to connect to those parts of us that don't feel the best, how are we going to fix it? How are we going to change it? If we aren't going to be willing to even dive down deep and say, what do I need to overcome? Because then we're just putting ourselves back in this loop of feeling defeated. I did also hear, for some of us, what we need to come face to face with and what we need to get off our chest. It may be heavy, and that's okay too. What I heard is, if you need to discuss or unload this, do this with a trusted friend. For some of you, it could be therapist. It could be, just a close loved one. But I feel like this is making sure it is not the energy that you feel depleted from. Okay, so side note, but I'm picking it up on it, so I'm going to say this, is, again, like if we're needing to talk about things, our grief, or talk about, our upsets when things haven't got started, we need to make sure we're not, again, telling people that may have in the past sideswiped us, is the word I heard, or sidetracked us, or helped contribute to the downfall. Okay, Spirit, can you tell me more about the 7 of Vessels? They're more. Okay, so because they're saying whatever the situation is, they showed me this with the 3 of Arrows, so I'm going to take it. The Great Bear, which is the world here, is out there as well. Big changes are coming from us. This 3, this doesn't feel like, to me, this is you. This feels like this is this energy around you again that are saying, be careful who you tell things to, because not everyone's in our court. Even if they claim to be, sometimes your success, it rubs the people the wrong way. And this is where I'm saying, if you need to unload some stuff and talk to a trusted friend or a loved one, making sure it's not the person who you feel depletes you, because they could use this again, or it's giving them ammunition for when they think things are going really well in your life to try and trigger you, to bring you down. Or if, and this is not for everyone, okay, but I'm picking it up, so I'm going to say it. If you find that a certain person or group of people has been around you when you've tried to get things off the ground and it's constantly failing, it could be Spirit going, because this person can have nothing to do with it. You could have a very, very jealous person around you who, again, like I said at the beginning, sometimes we want to hold space and see the best in everybody, but some people some people cannot be saved. I don't like to say that, but so I'm just gonna leave this part. But under my healing vibes in the playlist, there is a psychologist, a holistic psychologist, and she's done I've put it there on what is a sociopath. For some of you, you may want to look into that, because the one big thing was they don't have remorse, and they see people as transactional on what they can do for them, and it's very little give here, and if there is give, it's at what cost. And if you've had someone like that in your world, it's gonna hurt and it's gonna suck. And what I also feel like is, for some of you may feel loyalty. This could be a family member, which is horrible too, right? If it's a horrible situation. But the best healing comes from seeing it for what it is. And I think it's also important here that with your success and your healing, it has to be number one. It has to be prioritized over spending time with jealous people, or spending time with people who don't want to see you happy and want to see you fail. So with this great bear, this is overcoming some fears too. And I think it's really important that overcoming is here, and that we're holding hope, and that we're looking at this going, you know what, I'm connecting with my inner light. So if there's someone who you shine and your shine is too bright for them, tell them to get some friggin' sunglasses and say, have a nice life, because I'm going to keep shining like the sun that I am. And my friends, I will reflect my light onto the moon. There will never be a time where you will not see my light. I will not dim myself for anyone ever again. Have the 10 of arrows in instruction in the reverse there. And I think that it's because this is something that's taken a really long time, especially with this 3 of arrows. This is mental space, this is jealousy, and yeah, it pierces the heart, because depending on the people we're dealing with, sometimes the actions that these people can take towards us, they break our hearts. So we need to mourn it. And I think that this is, again, while we see everybody through the eyes of our heart, if someone's really hurt us, see them through the eyes of your heart. How'd they make you feel? How'd they make you feel consistently? How did they make amends, or did they? Did they say they're sorry? Have they tried changing their behavior? Is this a pattern? Has this happened many times? For some of you, I heard like it could be a parent as well, and a spouse or an ex-spouse, someone who's definitely left an imprint on you. And this is overcoming a lot of that, okay? Again, and I don't want to keep going on about this, but they're bringing it. You have the Lovers here too, which could be Gemini, but I think this is also just a choice in love and how we want to feel, how we want to reflect our feelings to other people, the kinds of relationships we want to engage in, and what kinds of commitment we're going to be in. Who are we going to fast hands with? This is, I think, as well, maybe not jumping into relationships if we're single and we're hoping to find new love, because especially if we have had someone really take advantage of us and really beat us down and break us down, we need to find a lot of healing before we're moving into something else, because we really could just be bringing a lot of issues into that situation. For some of you with this Lovers, I do feel like this could be healing within a relationship, though. That especially our soulmates and the people that come to us, there's parts of them that are healed, that their energy is meant to help us mesh. The same with us. There's things that we've healed that they haven't yet, and we're meant to help each other grow. So to me, there is a lot of universal energy coming in with the Lovers, with the World here, the Great Bear, and the Sun of Life is just going, you get a chance, and it might mean that you have to step over or go under here, but know that this bear, it's an illusion. It's not there. It's the spirit of this bear that once was. And also this Big Dipper. To me, this speaks of a vessel. It's full. It's upright. What are your heart's desires? What would you like to see happen in your world? How can you get there? Is it going to stand on this side of fear, or is it going to move through? And there's another thing here too as well, because we're standing in the light out here. We have to move through the darkness sometimes to get to the other side and find the light at the other end of the tunnel. So some of this is going to be seeing who the hell's been snuffing out my fire? Whose jealous antics have been making me feel like crap? Is there someone around me who I heard hates themselves? So they're just mean and they're spreading that out. The bottom of the deck is the Ace of Vessels. And I think that this is because you're going to, once you move through this, you're going to come to a beautiful watering hole, full of light, with unending, unconditional love, which first we need to make sure we have for ourselves, but we're going to have no trouble filling up this cup. For others of you too, I heard get outside and look at the stars, see where the Big Dipper is in relation to you as well. And when you look at that, how does it make you feel? So, 2 cards fell out. This is the Wisdom of the Tree Oracle. We have the Cedar of Lebanon, the sweet orange tree on the bottom. And the 2 cards that fell out were Eucalyptus and Acacia. I probably said it wrong, Akai or whatever, but the Cedar of Lebanon is about spiritual strength. And it says, trust your instincts and let your conscience guide you towards making the right decisions, especially if you are currently facing a difficult challenge. Know that you are steadfast and grounded as the biggest trees in the forest. The Akai tree is about protection. Trust that you are being given the support and protection that you crave, even if you are not yet aware of this. Your sensitivity is heightened at the moment, giving you deep insights into the world and people around you. And the eucalyptus tree is about balance. Try to strike the right balance between overt enthusiasm and lack of interest. Throwing yourself headfirst into a new project seems exciting at the time, but could leave you with a little room to maneuver later on. As well as I want to read to you the sweet orange one, because it was at the bottom of the deck. Which is, add a little zest to your life, my friends. Have some fun. It's about zest, which is your enthusiasm and energy is infectious. They inspire others to follow your shining example. And they also fuel your own desires to reach new heights and discover exactly what you are capable of achieving. It is time to let go of other people's ideas and thoughts about what you can achieve and to see for yourself just how friggin' wonderful you are and how shiny you are. And whatever, like you said, whatever it is at the beginning that gets your zest back, do that. So I'm going to leave you with a parting message with the Sacred Self-Care Oracle on how we can take care of ourselves this month to bring back this zest. So a whole bunch flew and it did not show itself to me, but we have, I'm going to take that because it showed itself, which connect with your crystals. For some of you, may be really important. This is smoky quartz to help kind of alleviate the energy around you, as well as I have here black obsidian, and this is actually silver sheen obsidian. You may want to carry some with you to help kind of like deflect negative energies and absorb it. And this as well is kind of, I feel like smoky quartz helps to keep you in your own energy, just kind of block out the bad vibes. So 2 things we can do is music and pleasure. This could be definitely physical pleasure. This could be making sure that you're pleasuring yourself, that you're knowing your body, especially if any of this is sexual trauma. This is knowing what feels good for you and allowing only those that feel safe for you in this situation, okay? For some of you, this is great sound healing. You may want to drum if you have one. Drum the shit out of it. You know, just make music, make noise. Might be with displeasure you're going to make noise. Maybe you're going to be singing. That's another thing too. If you need to release pent up or energy, I heard restricted energy, use your voice and sing. Turn on the radio to something you like and sing. Belt your heart out, my friends, because it's going to change your entire mood. As well as, I also heard it may be really important, I've done it today as well, sage your house. Just get rid of all the bad vibes. Open up the window. Ask Spirit that with this smoke, they help cleanse, rejuvenate your space, remove anything that is inauthentic to you or your loved ones in the house, and help release anything that's negative or inauthentic out through the window and be left with love in the house, okay? As well as they're also bringing up sweetgrass that you may want to ask a blessing with the sweetgrass after. So that's the message I have for you. With eucalyptus, the last thing I'm hearing is just breathe. Just breathe. That's all you gotta do is breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. And this is gonna set the momentum for feeling your best and having your cup full and running over. So that's the message I have. I hope it made sense to you. I love you all. Mwah, and I'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.